Hi, I'm Kate Longley-Wood from the Nature Conservancy, and I'm going to give you an overview of the mangrove restoration potential widget on Global Mangrove Watch. So first, let's just get to the widget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the widgets deck, and we really just are concentrating on this widget today. So I'm just going to click out of everything else except for the mangrove restoration potential widget. And then I can also just click on the layer checkbox so that we can see that, that map come up on the screen. And then I think we're going to want to just zoom into country. So I'm just going to say, let's go to the Bahamas. And now you can see that the data on the screen has updated for the Bahamas and that this mangrove restoration potential widget is at the top of the left-hand side of the screen. So, just as an introduction to the widget, the Mangrove Restoration Potential widget displays a data set that depicts where restoration could be attempted by identifying locations where mangroves once thrived and where conditions remain suitable for restoration. And the tool also calculates what ecosystem services might be gained from their restoration. So, the first thing that you see in the widget is this Mangrove Restoration Potential score. And so the mangrove restoration potential score is just an overall indicator of the likely ease for achieving successful restoration at the country scale. So the score is on a scale from 1 to 100, where lower scores, which are you can see on the map, the lower scores are in light pink. Those indicate that there are greater barriers to successful restoration. And then higher scores, which are in dark purple, indicate a higher likelihood of successful restoration at the country scale. And so you can see that that's just explained right here. And because the score for the Bahamas is 77, you can see that little indicator arrow points to that higher score on that scale bar. So as we're scrolling down here, you can see that the tool also shows the ratio of restorable mangrove area to total mangrove area, and that's just based on the 2020 extent. So scrolling down, we can see a little bit more information about mangrove loss. So this map was created using a data set that shows maximum extent of mangroves over time, so between 1996 and 2020. And using this data set, we were able to identify areas of mangrove loss since 1996. And it's just important to note here that not all areas of mangrove loss can be restored. So restorable areas are areas that have been lost, but also meet criteria for areas where restoration is possible. So for example, areas that have been converted to urban development are not suitable for restoration. So the mangrove loss panel displays the primary loss driver at the country level, and the driver of loss is an important determinant of whether restoration can be attempted. And it also shows the ratio of non-restorable loss areas to restorable mangrove loss areas in that particular country. So, scrolling down some more, restoring mangroves has the potential to increase ecosystem service values, such as carbon sequestration and fisheries production over time. And so, this tool estimates the value of mangrove blue carbon and fisheries production from restored mangrove. So, you can see that, that the restoration value for carbon sequestration is depicted here. And then scrolling down, we can also see where restoration of mangroves can potentially increase the production of new individuals for commercial fisheries. So those are the values that are calculated at the country level. But if we zoom in, we can also see how values are calculated at a smaller scale. So what we can do is we can actually just click on an area on the map, and it is going to bring up new information about that tract of mangroves. So this is done at the scale of a typological unit. And typological units are tracts of mangroves that share biophysical features. And so when the mangrove restoration potential map is enabled, you can just click on an individual typological unit to learn more about the restorability score for that area of mangrove. So you can see if you open that plus sign, you get kind of similar information that you saw before. The mangrove typology of the unit that I just clicked on is open coast. You can also see that the maximum mangrove area from 1996 to 2020 is around 8,000 hectares. You can also see that the area of loss is equal to the restorable area. So all of the area of loss in this tract of mangrove is considered restorable. And then similar to the country as a whole, the primary loss driver for mangroves in this area is extreme weather. And then here we've also calculated a mangrove potential score for that tractive mangrove. So here the potential score is 83, so you can compare that to the score of 77, which is the mean at the country level. So if we click on details, we can also learn more details about some of the variables that influence that score. So I'm not going to walk through every single one, but just to give an example, future sea level rise is one of the indicators of whether or not mangrove restoration is considered to be potentially successful. And so in this area, it's showing that future estimated sea level rise for that tractive mangrove is low. And so you can see that the bar is filled in all the way to the right, and that's because a low future SLR contributes to a higher score. So if we're thinking about future sea level rise, if that's predicted as low, that's better for mangrove restorability. On the flip side, timing of loss. So in this case, it's showing that the timing of mangrove loss is between 1996 and 2007. And because that loss occurred longer ago, that indicates a potentially lower success rate for mangrove restorability. So you can see over here, that is just filled in a little. That bar is showing a lower variable, a lower score contributing to that overall score of 83 for timing of loss. And then finally, if we minimize this and we minimize this, and we can also see some information about ecosystem services for that tract of mangroves. So similar to the widget that I showed you before, for that particular tract of mangrove, it's showing that if mangroves are restored in that area, it has the potential to increase carbon sequestration and also fisheries production at these particular values that it shows here. So that's a lot of information for mangrove restoration potential. If you want to learn more, you can always click on the info button in the widget that'll tell you where to find more information about the data that went into some of these calculations. And you can also look out for other videos that will show features that we have on Global Mangrove Watch that you want to learn more about.